Marzolo, Heath Schroyer, cast of thousands behind us, and you have to pull this thing down so you don't see the cheerleaders. You'll just sell anything to anybody.
Yeah,
Just anything to make a dime.
You know, I mean, hey, I'm glad to help out. Nadine Romero is a great friend of the program, and she has a huge cheer camp. And hey, anything you can do to get kids on campus, just like football camp or basketball camp, what have you, and it's great for the institution.
I feel we need a sign somewhere that says for rent or something for you. I'm telling you, but I'll tell you just about anything. All right, so today, it's June.
It is June.
It is summer school.
I know. Big day.
It is the first day of athletes on campus.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
As I look at it, there's 46 new football players. Mm-hmm. There's at least 7 or 8 new basketball players. There's 4 new women's basketball players. You are encompassing all these new people. What kind of new pressures does that cause? Because you're introducing a lot of people to campus for the first time.
Well, we're going to have, JR Griffin on here momentarily as our director of sports, our weight room and strength and conditioning. And I can't even start to tell you how important that staff is to the development of our kids.
And what it has lacked in the past.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, for a lot of reasons. Obviously, funding was not there. Yeah. The numbers were not there. And to be quite frank, I don't think the quality years ago was.
Well, the emphasis wasn't there.
For sure. But when I took over, I beefed up that staff because it was just so overworked, right? And what I understand as a coach is the guys in the weight room, they're the ones behind the scenes. Yeah. They're the stretching the guys. They're the ones getting the lifts, getting them healthy, bigger, stronger, faster. Every big time athletic program has a really, really good big time strength and conditioning program, and we were just lacking. And right now, for the last year, I think we've really done a good job of getting it where it needs to go. And we talked about this off air. With the hurricanes, we had so many kids were gone for so long. So to have a real summer, it's been a long time.
Well, you take the hurricanes, you take the pandemic where they had to go home and they couldn't work out, couldn't even get to their local gyms.
Right.
It's what do you have in your house so you could work out
That's
with. There's a lot of comeback, and we saw that in football especially, that they were overmatched a lot.
For sure.
And I think the interesting thing is you saw it firsthand. I remember one of the first conversasations we ever had when I said, you've got some players that are taller, but this is a bulk league.
Yeah.
And you were like, I don't think you believed me at first, but it is a bulk get yourself up league.
It is.
I've seen you guys do that in basketball some a little bit over the years. How important is it, though, to get the kids to buy into that?
Well, it's really important, but I think that the kids today that are playing at this level, they've been exposed to more things from a training standpoint than the previous generation. But when you go into the weight room, especially when you're young, you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're a little bit insecure. You're uncomfortable.
And there's a bigger kid over here. There's a lot of intimidation.
Absolutely. So I think, again, it goes back to the ability of your strength coach and the strength program and the coaches within it. You can't put a price on it. It is absolutely critical in today's world that you have not only a quantity of people, but the quality of people. And I think with Coach Griffin and his staff that he's assembled, Jimmy Buttoning before him, I was a big fan of his. And but it's so important.
It's not just, and everybody wants to put it to equate to football.
No.
But it's not just football nowadays. It's
Absolutely.
basketball, it's softball, it's
100%.
Baseball.
Yeah.
It is every sport. You have to be competitive in that field, or you're going to get beat on the field, on the
Absolutely.
courts.
Absolutely. It is a year-long commitment to strength and conditioning. In the summer, right now, you have the basketballs here, you have the footballs here, and they're here for 8 weeks. And every school in the nation is going to have these same 8 weeks. Well, you're only allowed on the floor 2 hours of the 8 weeks. So, just do the math. The majority of the time is with the strength coach. So that person better be really good and better be in tune with the head coach of the program. And these 8 weeks are critical to the success of your basketballs and your footballs and all the other sports, to be honest.
They also are, and I spent a lot of time in the weight room when I was in college and that, and I understand they are more accessible to the athlete than head coaches. They are, and they are really they're usually younger, but they're also more of the people that you say, hey, I've got trouble with this. How do you handle it? They're more of the on-campus kind of guy than people think.
Well, it's funny because they do a great job. I mean, everyone talks about, the body, right, physically. But what they do for your kids from a mental health standpoint is crucial.
And that's the big change.
100%. I mean, they have to be half psychologist and obviously strength coach. They have to know what buttons to push with each kid. And the kids are going to spend more time with them than they are the coaching staff. So the ability to truly develop them on all those facets is critical.
And we'll meet the guy in charge at McNeese here after this on Polk Nation. We're back. Well, we've learned all about nutrition, conditioning.
It's a big deal.
Strength.
I know I've said it like in every segment, but it's a big deal. And
well, you saw, like I said, you saw it up front on the
100%,
basketball court and what was lacking and what was being done. And you've seen what came from other places.
Well, and I think I've said this to you off air. As an AD, I'm a very non-traditional athletic director.
Yes.
So I come from the coaching world, and when you sit back and you realize how far away we were in so many of those areas, and have a chance to sit in the seat and be able to know that and understand it, I think it's going to pay dividends.
Well, I said from the minute I got here, McNeese's biggest issue was it was living in its past.
For sure.
And it wanted to play the game that nobody else was playing.
Right.
Because that was the game they were successful at.
Right.
And everybody else has kind of moved past them. So,
Right.
All right. Last week you were in New Orleans.
Yeah. Conference
for
meetings?
Southland Conference meetings, or as we call them, the Schwoyer family reunion now, because with everybody there that has to bow down to you.
Yeah.
But
I'm not that popular.
I'd imagine you're not. But what, if anything, was there big talk? What do you see the conference as? Is it moving in the right direction?
It is. I think that Chris. I really, really like Chris. And I think that you buy into the vision because you buy into Chris.
Yeah.
We obviously, talked about a lot of things from, tournaments and, voted on things. But then we also had an opportunity to meet two of the SWA, the deputy ADs that he wanted to bring in. And we kind of were able to spend some time with both of those candidates. Thought that was really unique. And I think that is a different approach that I like about Chris, is that he wanted to get the ADs input on his hire. I mean, that is...
Well, comparing him to previous, it is more of a partnership than a dictatorship.
100%, absolutely. And he's a true leader. He's someone that is casting a vision, and he really wants to stay in this footprint. Obviously, we did talk about Incarnate Word. As of today, they're still going to the WAC. To me, doesn't make a lot of sense. But everyone has to do what they feel is right.
But Lamar's still coming back because Lamar was there.
Lamar's coming back. Obviously, Commerce was there.
Which leads me to my question to you that was on the phone the other day is, why not cut a deal and make them both just split now?
Well, it is. Listen, I have been a big proponent in getting Lamar in right away, and I equate it to, it's like being divorced and still living in the same house.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work, right?
No.
So if you're done, you're done. And I think that I'm a big proponent. I've expressed that to Chris. Obviously, there's a monetary situation that has to get...
There's a monetary both ways, though. I mean,
it is.
With Incarnate Word leaving it.
It
seems
is.
like that could be worked out.
It is. I'm hopeful it will, but right now, Incarnate Word is leaving, and Lamar's not coming in for another year. Hopefully, it's still got about 3 weeks.
A lot of things changed the last. A lot of things change in June when it comes to conference.
Oh, are you kidding me?
When it comes to conferences.
Yeah.
So a lot of things have happening differently, but moving forward now, the commitment of the league to expand and wanting to expand and stay in the footprint. But are there target teams out there?
For sure. I mean, I think you wrote about a few of them. I mean, I don't read. I don't read, but I've heard that you wrote about a few of them. But I think that, but I do. Listen.
You say you glance at least.
I do. I do think that. I mean, you know, you look at the ASUN, you look at the WAC, you look a little bit at the OVC, and I think there's some opportunities in those areas. I think that Chris is really he's expressed that he wants Division I institutions. He's not really into the transitional Division IIs like I think the previous. You know, that's just low hanging fruit, right? You can get that.
Well, it was the
league,
easy thing
for sure.
It was easy pickings.
Absolutely. But, you know, listen, I mean, Conference USA, I'm sure that, you know, they're going to expand and pluck a couple here and there. So, I think the movement is not done yet. And, you know, it is
Is that your biggest achievement in the end if you can get it to go to FBS?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that, you know, we've went on record. I've went on record. Listen, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, the train came here and we didn't get on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I think that anyone that is, you know, with any type of intelligence can realize that that was a mistake.
Yeah.
If that opportunity comes again, we will not, as long as I'm in this chair, we will not make that mistake. I think it's something we owe not only our institution, but Southwest Louisiana.
Yeah, that leaves the question of how long you're going to be in that chair.
Oh, I hope a long time. I mean, I mean, I hope
it's made you a TV star.
I hope I'm not on a chopping block yet, but I hope to be here a long, long time. It's made you a TV star. Oh,
it's made you run a conference.
I'm just the sidekick to Gazzola the Great.
Oh yeah, that's a sad analogy. We'll see you next time on Poke Nation.